Shedeur Sanders just got a massive QB1 shout-out from a top Browns insider. And let's just say, his haters are probably choking on their own salt right now.
They understand that Shedeur Sanders is by far very different from a lot of young dudes his age who get in the team. Not only that, Shedeur has been getting mixed reviews from people who don't count. But the ones who count, who are the football players, have all been speaking highly of who Shedeur Sanders really is.
You know, this is a great DB. You know, he's one of the few guys that really know how to like be patient without using his hands, being friendly without using his hands. So, you know, that's one thing that really separates Denzel from his skill set.
Turns out, not everyone in the league is blind to actual talent when they see it. This ain't daddy's hype. This is pro-level validation, and it's loud.
You got Joe Flacco, who's the veteran. You got Kenny Pickett. They drafted Dillon Gabriel. They drafted Shedeur Sanders. Has anybody stood out to you that's like, okay?
The Cleveland Browns quarterback situation right now is a complete traffic jam. 4 quarterbacks, 1 starting job, and somehow nobody's getting anywhere. You've got Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders all fighting for the same spot. And instead of building chemistry or figuring things out fast, it's turning into a circus with zero direction.
Because Jerry Jeudy played for the Cleveland Browns saying, man, it's real difficult with this 4-way battle for there ain't enough reps. I don't think people understand, man, like.
Jerry Jeudy, the Browns' top wide receiver and breakout star from last season, has already spoken up about it. And when your WR1 starts publicly saying there aren't enough reps to go around, that's not a throwaway comment. That's frustration leaking out of the locker room. Jeudy isn't a drama guy. He's coming off a 1,100-yard season and his first Pro Bowl. So if he's calling this out, that means things are way worse behind the scenes than fans think.
You're going to do 12 of them. Right. You're going to do 12 plays a team. The majority of the time, the ones are getting 7 or 8 of them 12.
In NFL training camps, reps are everything. Teams usually run 12 to 15 reps in any passing drill. The first string quarterback eats up 70% of those. Second string gets whatever's left. Third string, maybe a bone here and there. Fourth string, you're lucky to even throw a football before the water break. That's just how it works.
You go 7 on 7. You're going to go 12 to 15 reps.
So now apply that to a team with 4 quarterbacks all competing. Where exactly is Shedeur Sanders supposed to shine? When is Dillon Gabriel supposed to find rhythm? How does anyone build timing with receivers when nobody knows who's throwing the ball tomorrow?
To do that with one person and get that down is enough work. To think you're going to get that down with 4 different dudes over the course of a camp sounds insane and just sounds like...
It's not just unfair, it's dysfunctional. You've got Shedeur showing promise, reportedly completing 7 of 9 passes in one session, and fans are hyped. Until they realize it might have been against third-string defenders who won't even make the final roster.
Insane and just sounds like stressful. Like, I don't even know. You might end up in a game with somebody like, man, I ain't even caught a ball from this dude. Like, that's why I think
it's smoke and mirrors, stats without context. And that's exactly the problem with this QB setup. There's no clarity. You don't know who's actually performing well or who's just cleaning up against future Uber drivers.
Jeudy and those guys can get acquainted with
but
one.
But if it's a 4-man competition, like how can you do it? Like you can't.
Meanwhile, the wide receivers, especially someone like Jeudy, are stuck adjusting every single day to a new quarterback's rhythm, release speed, voice, even energy. And when that keeps changing, it kills the flow of the offense. You can't build trust with a quarterback you never work with more than twice a week. And if your WR1 can't even predict who his QB will be, what does that say about the structure of this competition?
Kenny Pickett, Kenny Pickett, Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur. It's virtual. It's not enough reps. There's not enough reps in a practice.
And the worst part? The coaching staff probably knows it's a bad idea, but they're stuck trying to evaluate 4 QBs at once, hoping someone magically separates. But how's that going to happen when no one gets starter-level snaps? It's like trying to pick a lead singer for a band by letting each guy sing 1 lyric a day. Nobody stands out because nobody gets a real shot. And while the media spins it as a healthy competition inside the locker room, it's probably just chaos.
get the reports that Shedeur's completed 7 out of 9 passes. Like, is it against the starters? Or is it against the 3s and the 4s, the guys that's going to get released? So it seems impressive when you see the graphic.
And on the other hand, when Jerry Jeudy talks, people listen. And not because he's loud, but because he's earned it. This guy finished 6th in the entire NFL for receiving yards last season. He's not a solid contributor or some hype piece. He's the Browns' top weapon, their WR1, the go-to guy when they need yards, rhythm, or a spark. So when he says something about the quarterback situation, it's not locker room noise. It's a message.
It's just that the amount of people who hate Shedeur Sanders, forget about the Hicks and the Outbacks or the trailer parks or the bum so-called high IQ males who are really low IQ who...
And the message came through loud and clear. In a recent interview, Jeudy dropped the line, "My job is to get open for whoever's under center." Sounds neutral on the surface, right? But then he mentioned Shedeur Sanders by name. In a quarterback battle with 4 names in the hat, saying any of them out loud, especially the rookie everyone's debating, is a big deal. That wasn't just a throwaway comment. That was WR1 saying, "Yeah, I see him too."
Shedeur has been getting mixed reviews from people who don't count, but the ones who count, who are the football players, have all been speaking highly of who Shedeur Sanders.
And this isn't forced praise or some company line nonsense. Jerry Jeudy doesn't sugarcoat. He blasted the Broncos during his Denver years for having 0 consistency. Bad quarterbacks, rotating coaches, broken systems. He's seen the worst of what instability does to a team. So when he praises Shedeur, even indirectly, it carries real weight. He's not protecting the rookie, he's quietly endorsing him.
Shedeur Sanders, bro, because he always got an opinion. That man. Tell me what's the TED Talk? It's like, you know when you just got like opinions, like, and you could just sit there and talk about over anything? You will be great at that.
And that's exactly why the media is melting down. They expected Jeudy to back someone safe, a veteran like Flacco, or a drafted name like Pickett. They didn't expect someone this respected to give any shine to Deion Sanders' son. But here we are. Jeudy just put Shedeur in the conversation. And the haters don't know what to do with that. Here's the thing. Jerry Jeudy didn't just land in the NFL and light it up. His first few seasons were a grind, and not because of him. In Denver, he had to play with a different quarterback every other week. Coaches came and went. Offensive schemes changed more than the weather. He had all the talent in the world, but no system, no rhythm, no support.
It's been great. I mean, he's a lot of fun to be around in those meeting rooms, and I think so far there's been, at least once in the meeting room that he's made me crack a smile.
And what happened when he finally got to Cleveland? He exploded. Pro Bowl, 6th in receiving yards, back to being the guy everyone thought he'd be coming out of Alabama. Why? Because the Browns gave him structure, gave him a quarterback who could get him the ball, gave him consistency. So when Jeudy talks about what a QB should look like, he's not guessing. He's talking from battle scars.
Barter, a real alpha, a real man who's put together, who knows himself. But with the racists, they got to bring all these weird reasons as why you don't like this young man.
That's why his opinion on Shedeur Sanders matters. He knows what a bad fit looks like. He's caught passes from enough of them. So if Jeudy says Shedeur is doing his thing, that's not PR spin. That's a guy who's had to drag himself through dysfunction saying, this rookie doesn't feel like that.
But yet more teammates like Jerry Jeudy also spoke out on what he thinks of Shedeur Sanders.
Let's get one thing straight. With 4 quarterbacks in rotation, nobody is getting real starter-level snaps. And for Shedeur Sanders, who's already being doubted because he's a rookie and Deion's son, that's a serious problem. Quarterbacks need time to prove themselves. They need rhythm with their receivers. They need reps with the first team. But in this setup, he's lucky if he even gets a full series with the main guys. Now, you've probably seen the headlines, Shedeur went 7 for 9 in practice. Sounds impressive, until you start asking the obvious question. Who was he throwing against? Was it Cleveland's starting defense? Or was it a bunch of third-string defenders who'll be working desk jobs in 2 weeks? The media throws stats like candy without giving context. It's hype without substance, and that does nothing for a quarterback trying to earn real respect. But if you're someone who actually cares about real, fact-backed news, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We don't do clickbait nonsense like the others.
From his skill set, a lot of guys that don't use their hand really kind of struggles. So
Right.
He got good feet, great awareness when the ball's in the air, you know, and he's a scrappy dude for sure. You know, he's a real ball player.
The reality is this. You can't build chemistry with WR1s like Jeudy if you're not repping with them. And that's what's happening here. Shedeur might look good one day, then disappear from drills the next. Not because he's bad, but because the reps are chopped up and handed out like samples at a food court. One throw here, 2 throws there. It's not enough to grow.
But he's speaking to a young group of youth. Why would he need to bring up the 5th round draft pick? Why not talk about Dillon Gabriel or Kenny Pickett? You know why? The community don't give a damn about Kenny Pickett.
And yet, Jerry Jeudy hasn't shut the door. He hasn't rolled his eyes at the mention of Shedeur. In fact, he said it flat out. I'll get open for whoever's under center. That includes the rookie. That might seem like a basic answer, but in a league where locker room loyalty means everything, that's Jeudy giving quiet approval. He's not making excuses for the rep chaos. He's working through it. And if Shedeur ends up being the guy, Jeudy's already saying he's ready to ride. That tells you something.
It was always particular about the interest to stop people like a Shedeur or a Dion influence ability. You know, having that type of skill set where you can influence other group of people that they don't like.
But if you think Jerry Jeudy praised Shedeur Sanders just because he's Prime's son, let me stop you right there. That's not how NFL vets operate, especially not a guy like Jeudy who's had to earn every inch of respect in this league. He's not throwing compliments around for fun. He's backing Shedeur because the kid's resume is terrifyingly legit.
Anytime one of us do it our way, we're always a problem. We always get put up around their, chambers of screens as the bad guy.
Before he ever set foot in Cleveland, Shedeur was already breaking records. In 2022 at Jackson State, he put up 3,732 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions, and a ridiculous 70.6% completion rate. That's surgical. That's NFL caliber efficiency. And then he transferred to Colorado, where everything around him collapsed. No O-line protection, no time in the pocket. And still, he dropped 3,230 yards, 27 touchdowns, and only 3 picks while getting sacked a disgusting 52 times, the most of any quarterback in college football. That stat alone would have broken most quarterbacks. But Shedeur, he held it together and kept producing.
See, you can't have a Shedeur do good in the realms of things in their world because it defeats and disputes everything that they throw out there.
This isn't a raw rookie who needs development time. This is a guy who's already played through chaos, taken real hits, and made smart decisions under pressure. And that's exactly what NFL coaches look for. So no, Jeudy isn't just hyping a teammate. He's backing someone with better college numbers than a lot of current NFL starters. Shedeur didn't inherit this opportunity. He fought for it. And the more people actually look at his track record, the harder it gets to pretend he doesn't belong in the QB1 conversation.